Good day and happy Saturday to everyone. We've got the PP800 1 million credits. So going for the $1 million here. We want money to buy vehicles. We only have 5.8 million. And past results we've gotten first. We've raced this with the Ferrari. We've raced this with the Porsche 911. We've tried all sorts of vehicles at this race, but we're going to be giving you tips, real beginner tips, because, well, I'm an experienced beginner. I've been a beginner for a while. I've been picking up tips, especially when watching Rory Alexander. Fantastic. Also picked up, you'll see in the comments on the channel, a really great tip from one of the reviewers, Ruben. Gave some really great tips, and we're going to try those out. So we're going to pick this right here. We're doing the World Touring Car 800 at Circuit de Spa Francorchamp. Now, the first question I always want to ask myself is, can I get, let's say, a Gr.1 or GT1 car to fit into the class? So yeah, I could probably get this hybrid, bring down the power on it, but the power is already at 493 horsepower. I want to have enough power to get some solid acceleration in. I think the GT500 vehicle right here, the GTR GT500 08, would be a fantastic choice. But the Nissan is absolutely fantastic in regards to fuel economy. I love racing the Porsche here. So I think we're going to get a huge advantage here. If we go to racing hard tires, that brings us down to 856. And if we turn down the power a little, top speed, 310, should be enough. We're at 842. Let's see what we have to, okay, minimum, because that, if we turn up the downforce, what's going to happen if downforce is up? Well, one, we're going to use more fuel. We're going to get better control in the bendies. You can see we're now up to 873, so that is a way to get your Gr.1 or GT1 car to actually get into spec. So I think we're gonna have to go all the way down, and we're at 809. So we're gonna have to turn the power down a little bit more. 798, there we go. And we can actually try to just squeeze out a little bit more power. 801, no, we cannot. 799.97. So let's see what we get for detailed settings over here. We've got 440 horsepower. Now that doesn't sound like much, but the weight is at 1,874 pounds. So the weight is fantastic, and this can pull some pretty wild G, the rotational G, so we're really going to get some speed through the bendies. We've got the top speed set up just right. We'll go turbocharger, normal, or medium. Medium, you'll see it will bust because we're pumping up the power, so that could be what's holding you back right now. Throw on your normal turbocharger on this. It fits. Then let's start. Let's always make sure you've got wet tires, especially on this endurance race. So we're going to try to get the 1 million credits. And normally I've previously taken GR3 or GT3 cars to do this race, but I'm trying something new based on Rory Alexander's video on how to go from an E driver to an A driver, an A plus driver. And I've always had the traction control on high. I've had the traction control, try to last to the rain. So not nearly as much power as if I was running that Porsche. But I think we're going to do great in regards to fuel, and we'll be passing in the bendies. So a few tricks watching Rory Alexander. Use the transmission to slow down. Coming out of a corner, turn stability control. We're running stability control on 5. And the car's slower, because as you come out of the bendy, and I felt it in all the cars, like if you stomp on it too early, the stability control keeps the vehicle from taking off because it keeps the vehicle from spinning. A little bit of spin can be good. So you're saying when you're coming out of corner, go 1 gear higher than what the bendy, the corner suggested, the turn. Oh, here they're saying 2. So if I'm going to stomp on it in one of the more powerful vehicles, now we're fine because I was at 5, and I'll be honest here, I tried stability control 0, which would have been ideal. I do need to learn it to become a faster driver, but I just couldn't handle it. The 458 Italia, which I usually have a blast driving, I just would rush into first place on this race and then spin out. And it's excessively hairy when the tires start to get used. So we're still climbing positions here. So thank you so much for watching. This is JCCR Adventures. If you could please like and subscribe, it really helped the channel out. So there's that stability control issue that I really need to adjust to. And it's also a reminder that the Gr.1 cars, we need to be careful on the curbs. So let's remember that and start it over. And when we're online, don't ever rage quit. Be kind to others, stay in the race. So let's try it just on full fuel to get past a few vehicles. So having the air-fuel ratio on the richest, the most fuel going through those injectors really helps us get ahead of the pack. And being away from the traffic and getting ahead early on is going to help avoid accidents. So I find it's worth the fuel consumption. You can see right there, already bumping. So you go in, use the transmission, engine braking to help slow you down, and then you just gear up. So those were 2 really big tips that I learned watching Rory Alexander. Really entertaining, really well fountain of knowledge. Oh. So using the transmission, engine braking, so that means downshifting to help slow you down. For even more last minute braking, I feel like they're all braking way too early. Was a huge tip. And also coming out of corners and not making sure the tires don't spin, because if you got traction control on 5, it's really not an issue. The game won't let you spin, but you will take the corners not as quickly. Oh, there we go. Learn not to be on the gas when the vehicle is a little shaky, a little squirrely, as I like to call it. So gonna take off here. Oh, we're going pretty slow, so we will take off in first, not second. But normally we would have been 1 gear up. If we would have been more at the top of that gear to make sure that when we're coming out of the corner, we don't spin out. Now full braking, using the engine braking. Oh, they didn't hit me. Fantastic. So even on full fuel, this Porsche 962C is fuel efficient. I'm wondering if the Nissan would have been more fuel efficient. But let's see. Let's see when we cross. Yeah, it was going pretty decent. Didn't do that a little quicker. 206. So also not pedal to the metal as you come out of a corner, because if you do pedal to the metal, that's when you're going to slide out. It does help if you're 1 gear higher than what the suggestion. So here the suggestion was 1. When I come out, if I'm in second, even if I pedal to the metal, well then I'm not going to slide out. So important tip for when you're driving without the stability control, because you want to get faster. And here we want to get faster. Really appreciate you joining us on the journey. No matter what your skill level is, if your skill level is higher, please help the channel out, drop comments. And if your skill level is similar or less, well, let's get better together. So these are, you know, we're gonna get better together, do the driving tips from the standpoint and learning point of a beginner. So, you know, Rory Alexander really gave the great advice. Learn to drive with 0 on stability control. Now, I just wasn't having any fun. I was getting, not raging, but having difficulty because I would fly to the front of the pack, get into first, and just completely lose control of the vehicle. So I want to, you know, baby steps, and you know, bigger than baby steps, toddler steps here. We're not, you know, we're going from stability control level 5 and trying to incorporate new tricks to be faster. Cutting it right down to 0 and putting it all together was a bit much. So we're going to be on stability control 2. That's in the assist settings. Let's get this down to 219. So I'm thinking I am thinking that I'm faster in the Gr.1 car. Let's see if we can get a 219 in. Didn't use the full track there, so to do that any bendy, any turn at the fastest possible speed, well, one, watch the pro and take notes, naming the turns, turn 1 through, you know, all the number of turns. As Rory Alexander said in his video, I'm going to get a time penalty for that, trying to use up more of the track, but it's a learning experience, just like in life. Make mistakes, learn from them. Glad the time penalty is at 1 second. 0.5, that wasn't doing enough. And also, I'd love bigger crash penalties when you deliberately drive into someone. So let's try to put in Rory Alexander's tips here. Okay, now as I come out, go up 1 gear so I can full throttle it and not worry about wheel spin. Let go of everything, hope for the best there. So stability control on 2 made that crash less bad. So it's a bit too much for me to go all the way to no stability control. That's one of the tricks here. Engine braking, another one. Coming out of a bendy and not being at the, you know, full throttle. High RPM, tires spinning, because, well, you spin out and lose control. I also liked how he said, look at the power band of a vehicle that you can get in the detailed settings when we're adjusting the power of this vehicle. You can go and see the power band and see when is the ideal time to switch, because it's different for different vehicles. Use the engine braking. And as I come out here, because I'm going to be at the bottom of 1, I can stay in 1. And full throttle it, because I was really at the bottom of 1. But had I been at the top of 1, well, we would have upshifted to 2 coming out of the corner. Make sure we don't get wheel spin at the 100. Engine braking. Wow, I slowed down a lot faster than expected there. Bottom of 1, so I stayed in first gear. Fuel consumption's going pretty well. I don't feel like there's a need to kick it up to 6. I want ideally the fuel. Now, there we want to be running through that bendy as straight as possible. All the bendies. Straight equals fast. Did not take that as well as I should have. Got to try to use the whole track. So using the engine braking. Now, start off in second. Make sure I don't have any wheel spin. Once again, if you have stability control on 5, you don't have to worry. You can take off at the top of the recommended gear. Like here, they're saying I should be at the top of 2 for this whole bendy. Well, if your stability control is on 5, you can throttle it to the floor, and the vehicle's never going to let you spin out. But it also won't let you accelerate and take off until the vehicle is, you know, in a safe position. So you lose time there. I need to get these times down, otherwise I'm going to think that I should be driving the Porsche 911 for this. Mind you, the fuel consumption on the GT1 or Gr.1 vehicles tuned down. The fuel consumption is very nice. Been running for almost 10 minutes and we just hit a quarter tank now. Could probably on 6 run the whole race on 1 tank, just about. But we're gonna run the vehicle rich because we did turn down the power and we're gonna have to go in. They always seem to throw us a tire change for wet tires in this. So we're gonna definitely get into the near heavy rain before we do our tire switch, and we'll get fuel at that point. So no point in running less rich with the fuel. So I gotta get this as straight as possible. Oh, I think I nailed it. That's not bad. Not bad. There we go. That was getting pretty straight. That'll help get a faster lap. Use the whole track to be as fast as possible. It's going from the exterior all the way to the interior with last minute braking. Now if you're not used to the track, you can go into the assist settings, turn on the markers and even the braking indicator to tell you when to start braking. That is definitely going to assist you, and if you have time you can also look at videos of the fastest times performed and recognize the vehicle, because the vehicles will be better at some tracks. So there's no #1 best vehicle. It's about the right vehicle for the right track, and also having it, you know, if you're a beginner, it's also about being able to drive the vehicle, so it's important. Oh. So this vehicle is low to the ground and does, if you pick up the curb too much, that's the result. I was having a pretty fast lap, so let's learn from that and try not to redo it and actually now get a fast lap. This is what I'm trying to do. Get into the 219 range, otherwise I will be thinking I should be driving the Porsche 911. Use the marker as a memory when start braking, so I now know in this vehicle, the GR3, GT3 cars, I know that I need to start braking at the 100, and now that I'm braking with the aid of engine braking, I know I can go after the 100, so let's try to get this as straight as possible. Now let's see, how fast are we going to be going? Okay, good, that was pretty good. It'll let us know at the end of the straightaway how we're doing for time. Oh yeah, there we go. Now I've learned that's too quick for that corner. Time penalty coming up. That was a big fail. Yeah, I well-deserved 4-second penalty. I've got to get it under 220 before the rain hits. Before the track gets rather excessively humid. You can see there when you start throttling on it. So there, I believe I can brake later. I can probably brake at the 50. I'm gonna try it. Brake at the 50. These racing hard tires are really holding up. That's a big penalty right there. Yeah, last time ran that over just a bit too much and spun out. So I won't be forgetting that. And that's too late. So 50 is too late. So just right after the 100 is when I'm going to start my braking. Piecing it all together. That's what you need to do. Take little mental notes. Cut the curb too much. Would have gotten away with that in the GR3 and GT3 car, I'm quite certain. Well, thank you for toughing this out. If you're still watching, thank you very much. This has not been, this is a learning experience. Traction control on 2, huge learning experience. I think I have this car, this Porsche is a little too low. I think raising it will make it better at taking these bendies, taking the curbs, because I've been I'm pushing it as much on the curb as possible. And it's a new experience because I have done this race with 0 spinouts other than in the rain with the wrong tires. So I know the course, not in this vehicle, in the Porsche 911. I'm not going to get fooled into pitting just because the wipers went off. And I hope you won't either, because you'll have seen this video. They're going to throw a few droplets here and there. But if I pit now and put on the full wet tires, the tires are just going to wear right out. Unless they're going to throw different weather at us than they did last night when I tried this out with both the 458 Italia and stability control on 0, and then the Porsche 911 with stability control on 2. Still had a bit too much trouble. Oh, they're throwing a lot more rain than I expected. This is different than last night. So I'm going to take off in second to make sure I don't spin out, because the track is now wet. And when the track is wet, especially when you don't have the right tires on, the vehicle spins out quite easily and slides across the track quite easily too. So I'm going to take this slower. Yeah, there we go, sliding right off the track. So not changing tires, looking like a bit of a mistake. Let's see, 1 or 4 second penalty there. Oh, asking me to brake way earlier and use the engine to help not lose control. Staying on the track, up in second so I don't spin out. Ooh, even in second. So now that the track's wet and we've got the wrong tires, we really need to watch it in regards to torque. Even engine braking and slight braking. So I'm not taking off in first, going really easy. So I did not expect this for weather. It's not the same as what we got last night. So let me know in the comment section. Do you have a trick to know what kind of weather you're gonna get? Like how bad the weather is gonna hit? Because had we just had a quick little, a little bit of a dropping and then nothing more, like last night, and you throw on the wets, well, the wets wear out. And they wore out before they wore out before the rain ever came. we got tricked by the weather. So really light on the brake pedal, really light on the accelerator. But this is weather for very wet tires, unless it's gonna all dry out now, dry up. Rain gonna really slow down or not? It's still coming down. Oh, it's coming down nicely. Okay. So let's go throw on the super wet tires. Have that advantage. Hope they last the entire rainstorm. So this will be part 1 of the endurance race. Drop in for part 2. Let me know in the comment section, what should we do for tires? I'm gonna look at the comment section. And if we get a comment in quick enough, well, those are the tires we're going to pick. So do we go with intermittent tires or the super wets? The super wets wear out really quickly. The intermittents aren't so good in deep rain, but take note, this is what the rain is like now. It is slowing down. So let me know in the comment section.